Good afternoon, my friends. How are you all doing? It's been a long while since we visited Destiny, and as you could see, we are back. The reason for that is quite simple. We had Apex Legends introduced literally out of the blue. We did not expect the game, and obviously, the developer Respawn had not advertised it prior to its launch. A wonderful new Battle Royale game, which all of us were playing avidly, relentlessly during the last 2 weeks, and we are going to be obviously continuing with our Destiny broadcasts as usual, but Apex has been quite extraordinary, and if any of you joined us, you would have seen that wonderful new game that will be obviously drawing us to our console, PC, and any other platform for many, many months and years to come. It will become also a cross-platform game, and we kind of look forward to that. But I have to say, there have been some issues and eyebrows raised about its aiming and targeting system. There has been some discrepancy on ping, and there have been some problems with flick rate or tick rate, whatever it's called, and we had some really adventurous times out there as far as our survival was concerned. But I had many late night streams because Apex has been a brand new game, just freshly launched, and we are going to be resorting to our usual morning and afternoon stroke early evening streams rather than the night ones. The reason for that is the night streams are very taxing on all of us living in the UK, because we are obviously servicing somewhat different time zones to our own, and that causes us some issues. So as you could see, we are back to Destiny 1. I can see we have Ibtor here and Matthias. Hello guys, how are you doing? Very, very good to see you. I know you've been waiting for these broadcasts to resume. I apologize for such a kind of lengthy break, because I did try to fit in everything at once, but as you know, when you have a new promotion which is based on a brand new game coming out, then it becomes a bit difficult. And as you know, Anthem will be also coming out soon. We will have some Anthem streams here as well as planned. I'm not exactly sure whether I will start on the 22nd or perhaps even later. The reason for that is I will sort of honestly tell you, the trouble with the new releases is that everybody is jumping on the bandwagon of a new release, and you would have seen with Apex more than 500,000 viewers on Twitch on Tuesday after its release, and probably about 50-60,000 streamers. So that community, although brand new and very vibrant and interesting, becomes oversaturated, and the actual communication and connectivity becomes a bit depleted. And I've had this experience in the last 2 weeks, and I have to say there have been some people coming in and joining that community who were very interested in Destiny, and vice versa. There were some Destiny veterans trying it out. So altogether, it has been a very, very good, productive and encouraging time. And as you know, this is a new channel, so I'm trying out a few things in order to see how it is going to be received by different communities that follow different games. But as you all know, the vast majority of serious gamers are always very dedicated to one game or one particular style of gaming, and hopping from one game to another is never appreciated, and that is obviously not my intention. But as you know, sometimes I do run some promotional campaigns which are linked to either developers or manufacturers of consoles, or various kind of bits of tech, and therefore we become a bit focused on that for the time being. So coming back to Destiny, I had a few messages from our community members, and everybody was asking, when is Destiny 1 going to come back? And I have to say, I'm a bit staggered by the fact that even today, after we had, the seasons introduced by Bungie for Destiny 2, and we had a lot of development on Destiny 2 Forsaken, people keep coming back to Destiny 1. A lot of people consider it still today to be a lot better game than Destiny 2. I'm obviously very, very glad and pleased, and I still have a lot to do in Destiny 2 as well. As you know, I did play my Warlock character in Destiny 2. I've not done Forsaken yet, so it means that once I complete all 3 characters here, I'll have to migrate to Destiny 2 and then start with my Hunter and Titan there. I do have a number of adventures to be still completed in Destiny 2 for my Warlock, so plenty to do in there before we commence with Forsaken, and indeed with the seasons. I've not been rushing it because, as you know, I like to indulge in a game and learn it completely inside out, and do it bit by bit. And Destiny 1 experience has been truly rewarding, and in fact, I have to admit, I have been reminded of the gaming difference, once migrating to Battle Royale, because as you know, in here we've been playing primarily PvE, which is people against the environment, and in that instance in there we are doing PvP, which means we have all the other people in the arena, we are battling against them. And I have to say that I talked to a few people in the past and they said you've got to make sure that you are on the fiber, you've got to make sure that you have the fastest ping possible and all this. And I thought, it's not perhaps that significant, it's not going to make that much difference. But you know what? After doing Apex for 2 weeks, I became aware of every single word they said, because it's very important. Otherwise people can see you before you can see them, and you know what happens then. It is after all a battle royale, which means you have to ensure your own survival. On the other hand, I found very interesting was migration of PUBG and Battlefield and Fortnite veterans to Apex, and a lot of people brought in their own strategies and trying them out in that arena. For some, things worked. For others, they found many hurdles. And what I did find quite frequently was, particularly people migrating from Battlefield and from Call of Duty Black Ops 4, were really going in for an early kill, which means they were chasing the score from the word go. And I did talk to a few veterans, Battlefield veterans, and they had quite a few kills, a few hundreds. And they said, well, how can it be that you're already on level 65 and you're still on level 15, but we've had so many kills? And they didn't realize that the number of experience points that you get for a kill in Apex is relatively low. If I'm not mistaken, it's either 30 or 50. And if you are surviving 1 minute in a game, you're getting 150, 160 experience points. So if you survive for 15 minutes, well, you could see you will be getting then a minimum of what? 1,000, like 2,500 points. And if you have 7-8 kills, you will get only 250 or 350 XPs. So it's very interesting how people conceptualize, because I also face some anger from some of the people who were a bit concerned about my stealth approach, and they wanted to go in for the kill from the word go, and this certainly wasn't the best thing to do if you were to be facing some very seriously experienced tactical teams who are flanking, who are strategizing, who played together for several years, the veterans of Battlefield, Call of Duty and many other games, The Division in fact as well. And you can tell straight away through the way people positioned, through the way they move, the way they use the weapons, the way they deploy the tactics. And there's been no great pleasure for myself but to get eliminated when we were down to the last 3 teams, and then or 4 teams in fact, and then watch the last 3, and then watch and have an attempt to learn from. Very impressed many times by the teams doing things which I find quite extraordinary, considering we are playing the game on console, which is to a degree limiting when it comes to aiming and precision, and also in terms of movement and various other bits. So really some truly impressive guys out there, and I'm afraid if other guys are wanting to get the early kills, then perhaps that's not going to be the best game for them, because obviously they can get thousands, but at the end of the day they'll not be leveling up as quickly, because the game has been focused on the gamer's survival rate, which is giving you the greatest number of experience points, and you get also some extras if you are down to the last 3. And in addition to that, you also have many other interesting bits in the game which are weapon related. You have to be getting grade 3, grade 4 optics and bits of kit which will make your weapons very precise. So there are many other bits and pieces to learn from. So altogether very good experience as well. Very different to Destiny indeed. And as I said, I've not played a Battle Royale now for maybe a year, and after indulging in Destiny in so much, I almost forgot what different type of gaming style that is, and what type of adrenaline you get when when you're playing it, and what sort of addictive qualities it has when you have the repetitive Battle Royale gameplay in and out all the time, which doesn't have a story. You're just principally looking for tactics and strategies. So altogether a very good experience. But indeed we are back to Destiny. So what we're going to do today is we are going to be carrying on with Titan, and we will continue with his story missions. As you know, I had completed already on my Titan the base game, The Dark Below and House of Wolves, and we just had started with The Taken King. So there will be some missions and some strikes and some interesting bits in there, and we are going to be carrying on as usual with our Destiny game and our heroes. On another note, I'd just like to say that Anthem has already been out for people who are subscribers to Origin service, which is the premium Electronic Arts service, and people doing Anthem exclusively on PC. This was since Friday, I believe, and somewhat mixed reviews coming out of those quarters, I have to say. And I was surprised because I've read about 2 or 3 reviews from online gaming magazines, and they were quite negative, and they were sort of describing Anthem as a replica of Destiny. Well, I'm very surprised to hear that, and I'd be really astonished if the entire game, once received, as a full game, would turn out to be a replica of Destiny, because I've done 2 lots of demos, the VAP and open demo, and there are some parallels, I guess, with with the open world, with the universe, with the aliens and the enemy which is attacking humanity. But on the other hand, the structure of the game and everything else seemed to me completely different. And also what I liked was the fact that once playing these demos, I had no idea whatsoever, after doing them for 2 consecutive weekends, what the story missions are going to be about, what the story is about, what Anthem is about. I had no idea. I knew a bit more about the tactics which I will need to use with Javelin suits. I knew that there is going to be a team of 4, and it's always going to be a multiplayer. I knew that there are certain sections which are going to be explorable. They include free play, they include story missions, they include strongholds. But apart from that, I knew nothing else. So a lot to look forward to, and I'm quite certain that even for those people who are perhaps not that keen on Anthem, we are going to be having a great game in addition to Destiny, and we are going to be able to indulge for many months and years to come. They're also preparing a season-style add-on DLC. It is my understanding that we will not have to pay for it, which I think is fundamental, and everybody who purchases the game at the beginning will be getting some of that DLC. I'm not sure whether all of that DLC will be offered for free or not, but at the moment, this is what they said, the BioWare, the developer. And the other thing which they mentioned also was that there will be microtransactions, and they will be similar to what you have in Apex Legends. Very many of those you'll be able to buy from the very beginning, but none of them will have any impact on the game. And in fact, I looked at the chart, which was officially published, I think, last week, and they're quite expensive. So I don't really know what the idea is, but I'm quite certain that many people will be buying lots of those right from the beginning. And the reason for that is very simple. When you buy lots of them from the beginning, you're very noticeable. If you're a streamer, your outfits, your skins, your things on display will be visually exciting, and therefore that will be a great bonus. On the other hand, they will have no impact on gameplay, none whatsoever. So I just want to say to all of my followers and community members, if you are thinking that any of those will have any impact on the gameplay, please do not waste your money. I did have a few messages coming in from some of my friends, and they said, well, we wish that we would have never bought any of this. Well, it's tempting because you want your character to look nice from the beginning, and everything's going to be very exciting and interesting and engaging and appealing, I think, if you're a streamer. But on the other hand, I would prefer, just like what I've done with Apex, a long grind. So lots of those Battlefield and PUBG veterans got back to me during the first week and said, hang on a minute, how come you're able to get already 24,000 tokens? And you already unlocked 2 of these characters, which obviously can be bought either with real money or in-game currency. And I said, well, the idea was just to be there to survive as long as possible, and that was giving results. It was bringing me lots of those tokens, and within the first week, within the first 5 days, 6 days I think, I was able to unlock Caustic and Mirage, 2 of those special characters. They're called Legends, like these ones are called Guardians. And it's all about this sort of longer term grind. You stick to it, you play the game, you try your best and hardest, and then you get some rewards. So that's the idea, and I think that can be applied to Anthem as well. And I really look forward to it. As I said, I was intending to start on the 22nd, but I've got some logistical issues here, and I may or may not start on the 22nd. If not, we are going to be obviously proceeding with the stream maybe a week or two afterwards. I have to see basically what the response is altogether right from the beginning. I had a lot of interest expressed for the campaign, and there have been lots of positive comments coming in my way as well after we've done the demos. So, you know, definitely Anthem is the next big thing, and we all want to see what the game is going to be like once it comes out. Alright, so without further ado, now is the time to engage with our heroes, our guardians of Destiny World, and we are now cracking on with our Titan. I welcome you all back to my Destiny broadcast. We've been away for about 2 weeks, roughly, and I can tell you that this Destiny broadcast is the broadcast number 102. So we had 102 Destiny 1 broadcasts so far on this channel, and that's really wonderful. It feels like coming back home, you know, coming back to your friends, your family. It's the same sort of feeling. This is wonderful. And let me think, what was the last thing that I did? There weren't that many quests in there, you know. House of Wolves, the story of the Woken and the campaign against House of Wolves. So we need to go to Bastion Outpost, Reef, and speak to Petra. So this is what we are going to do. I remember the last mission I've done now. Not too difficult. And there we are. Yeah. Looking at our directory, the Reef Astral Belt is our next destination. Stand by and then advance. We've not talked for a little while. Is your PlayStation 4 operational now? You've got everything sorted? Were you able to resolve your no, what's it called? PlayStation Plus, I beg your pardon. I said PlayStation Now. PlayStation Plus. And are you now able to join us as well and to be one of the fire team members, as usual? Matthias says, indeed, it's been a long while. And he says also he personally hates Battle Royale games, so he has not been here in 2 weeks. Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. And, you know, I quite like Battle Royale. What else can I say? But, you know, Battle Royale is... well, depends on who comes in, you know, and depends what team you're on. It can be sometimes very enjoyable, sometimes very frustrating, and at times I've heard can be very toxic. But that section I've not experienced, you know, on my channel at all so far. Everyone's been well behaved. If you were to pop in, you would see that before every single match, I'd say we in a public broadcast ask people to adhere to the, you know, family-friendly channel rules, and generally they did. Now and then you have somebody who was a bit silly, but nothing of major significance. I can also ask Matthias, have you completed everything on Resident Evil 2 Remake? Because I've seen they released some, or they are about to release another DLC. So that is going to be also very exciting. I've seen just very, very positive feedback from everyone, everywhere. All of my streamers friends and, you know, the fans, they all were very, very delighted with the remake. So I think that's wonderful. We are likely to be seeing other remake features from Capcom and probably from some other companies as well in view of its success. There we are, we come to Petra.
We're doing good work out there, Guardian.
Indeed, madam. I've come here to ask for another mission. So she says, we are doing good work out there, Guardian. In their own way, the Kings are even more dangerous than the Silent Fang. Get out there.
In their own way, the Kings are even more dangerous than the Silent Fang. Get out there.
So it looks we need to speak to scholars. So let's quickly have a look at the mission. Our mission is, let's see, Scour the Cosmodrome for scholars and invading wolves. Complete mission, the ruling house. Alright, so we are indeed going to be completing this mission. It is pegged. You have to gather essences, I can see, and we have to get this. We need to do all these patrols. It's a bit of a grind there. But today we are not going to be doing any patrols. We'll just follow our story missions. Let's see what Matthias said. Matthias says they released it on the 15th and I haven't really had a chance to play it yet. Such a great game. I beg your pardon. Matthias said they released it on the 15th and I haven't really had a chance to play it yet. That is in relation to Resident Evil 2 Remake. We were just talking about it a moment ago. And Night Kit Kat is here. Hello, Night Kit Kat. Great to see you here. Thank you very much for joining our community, for being here on the channel and talking and connecting and communicating with the rest of us. And Night Kit Kat says, such a great game. Well, may I just ask, Destiny or Resident Evil 2 Remake? I guess both of those games are terrific. And Pinky JB83 is here. Hello, how are you doing? Thanks very much for joining our channel and being obviously part of our community. And Pink is asking, can you play PvP still active? Yeah, PvP is still active on Destiny. It's Crucible, but I've not been engaging in Crucible at all. I've been playing just PvE overall with my community members and friends, and we've done lots of different missions and quests and strikes and everything together. We still are to do raids. I've not done any of those. Well, I've done just one, and then later maybe Crucible. We'll have to see. Basically this is not a competitive gaming channel. It's a channel which is based on engagement with the community members. It's based on learning. It's based on communication. It's based on making new friends, I did see, as I was doing Apex during the last couple of weeks, that the gamer profile of people coming in to Battle Royale was significantly different. And you would get many people who are very much focused on scoring and winning and succeeding. I mean, everyone wants to score and succeed. But if that becomes the primary target at all times, then I think the enjoyment of video gaming is lacking. Polishing up the game, learning the skill is generic. You do it over a longer period of time, and it's similar to the big investors in the world. Talk to Warren Buffett, one of the biggest investors, the most successful investors in history. He will tell you he never thought about making money. He just enjoyed doing what he's doing, and therefore he's so successful. And I think with video gaming, it's the same sort of thing. You get people who get completely burnt out because they're trying to chase scores and things don't, work their way and backfire. And indeed, if you are playing PvP, if you're in a sort of real-time arena, it is very much dependent on who your opponents are, right? And I can certainly tell you, Apex does have some really incredibly good veterans in there, people who are very tactical and well rehearsed, and obviously, coming across them can be seriously difficult. And Pinky's asking, will you be playing Anthem? Indeed I will. I did play Anthem VIP demo and the open demo for those 2 consecutive weekends, and I loved it. I thought it was incredible. As you know, I adore Mass Effect Trilogy. Mass Effect Trilogy is my favorite game of all times, and absolutely wonderful and divine for my kind of style of gaming. So to see that the same studio or the same developer was investing and making another game which is likely to be its own kind of generic extension, it does feel a bit like Mass Effect, I must admit. When playing the demo, you did have a feeling of Normandy whilst you were in Fort Tarsis, but there is a big difference. Fort Tarsis is bigger, it is more mysterious, and the way you conduct the conversations is significantly different. I've read something on one of the portals that when making conversations with characters, whatever you do with them will have no impact on the gameplay or on the story. Well, that's under very big question mark. Maybe that's the way it looks when you are starting out with the game, but I would be very, very surprised if BioWare were not having decision making as one of the key factors in the story missions, because that is what they're known for. So people say all kinds of things, and I did see a reviewer, I can't remember what portal this was, talking about Anthem, and he did not engage the demo on the hard difficulty level, which was recommended in order to access the bonus content. BioWare were throwing in on our last Sunday of the demo bonus content, which is a selection of about 6 events, I think, and he didn't realize that you had to be switching it onto the hard mode. So he wrote a whole big review complaining that this is just nothing, it's just a complete waste of time, because you're looking for these events that never happen to be there. And there were 2 things that he was doing. First of all, he went into a multiplayer game, right, as a solo gamer on the hard difficulty level, from accessing all the events. He might have come across maybe 1 or 2. And then secondly, he didn't play it on a level which was stated clearly by the developer in order to get the bonus content. So, well, there's no storm, or you can see this, So, coming back to your question, will you play Anthem? Absolutely. Anthem is going to be almost like a sort of twin brother to Destiny, but not a clone, a game which is going to be seen as an add-on. We want to have Anthem world, we want to have Destiny world. We want those 2 worlds, the universes, to live separately, and we want both of those to be evolving. Well, both companies, Bungie and BioWare, said their concept for Destiny and for Anthem is of a living, evolving, progressing, developing world. So if you're interested, do have a look on my Twitter, Pinky. I did post a few of their announcements on how the seasons are going to be run on Anthem, and initially we will have also many things happening during March. We have first week of gameplay, and then many other things happening during March and April. So it's worth checking those posters. You have the dates there. They're very similar, in fact, to what Bungie did, but they're different in content, and I think that's where both games will obviously provide us with a lot of entertainment and excitement on a very, very different level. So very good to see you all here. I'm so glad to see that people are indeed coming back to watch my Destiny streams, and indeed that everybody was waiting for the Destiny stream, which is absolutely terrific. So we are going to go, nearly missed it for a split second. We did say we need to be going to Cosmodrome, I think, right? We need to scout the Cosmodrome for Skolas and Invading Wolves, complete mission, the Ruling House. So we are off to the Cosmodrome.
Back to the stars.
Indeed, madam. After we win this battle, we shall be back, and we'll ask for another mission. Fear God, honor the King. Off we go. See whether there's anybody else who wants to speak to us. I've sorted out his kit already previously, so I don't think I need to do anything in here. And now we are proceeding to Cosmodrome.
Please repeat.
What I do is always have a good look at those picture postcard views and then go to fight another battle. There's a reason for that. Before going into battle, you remember, you never know whether you're going to come back in one piece, alive or dead. Therefore, you want to see what you like the best. You want to think of your loved ones. You want to be focusing on things which make you kind of relaxed and encouraged. There we are. Off we go. Let's see. Cosmodrome, Old Russia on Earth. There we are. There is our mission. The Ruling House. Level 20. Easy. Our Titan is engaging with his future adventures.
The House of Kings is unique among the Fallen. They are secretive, dangerous. They hide in the shadow of the Cosmodrome, waiting, plotting. If Skolas can bring the House of Kings under his banner, we're all in trouble. I'm game. Damn. I'm getting a lot of interference down there. Hold tight, Guardian.
There we are.
Guardian. Try to find the source of the interference
interference and stop it.
Let's see what weapons
Skolas
here.
jamming signals with high servitors. Reef war tactic. Advanced warfare. May fool Petra. Does not fool me. I shall be your guide.
Indeed, sir. I shall rely on your counsel. Fear God, honor the king. There we are. I'm just silly. Why on earth did I do that? Because I'm still thinking of Battle Royale, that's why. You know, when you're an autopilot, it becomes a bit difficult to switch on and off. This seems to be a bit hard to kill so far. Okay, picked up evading in there. So I guess that these are the parts of another weapon. Well, this is beautiful. We are. Getting in and looking for scholars. Just as our friend Barracks would say. Yes, scholars needs to be defeated.
Servitor is source of interference. Kill it dead.
You know, the trouble is, as I played Apex, my brain is just needing to switch off that autopilot. But obviously it will happen. Oh no, I'm skewed. Oh, they're here. Keep forgetting that I have this mighty punch. no special ammunition.
Signal still corrupted. Wolves must have second servitor. Push forward. Find the source.
I certainly shall, sire. I'll find the source. What's that? Who's that? Oh, he's that. What's happening in here? Some harvesting of some sort. Bullet resistant. Boom. So we are looking for scholars, right? Story missions on Destiny 1.
I was House Judgment Scribe to House Wolves. Skolas was vicious, even for a fallen kill. I could not stomach his hate.
Oh, we need to go up there. Lewis is here. Hello Lewis, how are you doing? Thanks very much for joining us, for watching my broadcast, from being part of our community. It's weird because on the other two characters I hardly use my fusion rifle, but hello Lewis. Yeah, I know. Lewis says he's watched my streams before. Well, thank you very much for coming back. And I've not had any Destiny streams for about 2 weeks because I've been streaming Apex. And Destiny is back. And as you know, this channel is sort of pegged to Destiny, so we will always have Destiny streams. Sometimes there might be some breaks, you know, but Destiny will always be very much present here on the DRBMiller channel. That is Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. And maybe Destiny 3 in the future. Oh, he didn't die. Quite curious to see whether my super would work, and it did work. So where's the other one? Where did he go? Oh, there. Okay. Miss Poison Ivy is here. Hello, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us today. Destiny is back. We've been away with Destiny for about 2 weeks, but indeed here to stay as always. Miss Poison Ivy says, it's so nice to see somebody playing Destiny 1. Was thinking I'd play some later today. Please do. And please do join us sometimes, some co-op in here as well, you know, when we come to strikes and co-op missions.
It is good to work with you, with Petra. All that are fallen are not lost, yes?
Indeed, sir. All fallen are not lost. I was just going to say to Miss Poison Ivy that I stream Destiny normally every day, and because Apex was, you know, a new game introduced without any warning, we jumped on it and we had like 2 weeks of Apex. We'll carry on with Apex as well, but not, you know, within the same magnitude in terms of the hours of streaming. And Destiny 1 is all. We have a look at, you know, my archive. This is 102, the broadcast number 102. So I had already 102 broadcasts of Destiny 1. Miss Poisdami says she loves Destiny 1, and I'm also a Destiny 2 player, but Destiny 2 is so dried out. I guess it's a different game, you know. I mean, I love Destiny 2 as well, but the way it's construed and the whole idea was somewhat different. And I have to say, similar to Dragon Age and similar to Mass Effect, when the developer wants to do something else, it's not always positively received by the community. And I've just seen the other day that Dragon Age Inquisition was one of the best successes that WoW had at all times. But I remember Dragon Age 2 coming out after the first one was so positively received, and people didn't like it at all. There were many, many complaints, you know. Night Kitty Cat says, I think you'll find Destiny 1 to be a better story, even though people complained about not having a story. Well, you know, I guess both games have really interesting stories. The only trouble there is that when I played my Warlock first, then I couldn't really follow the story in a linear fashion. But when I came to my second character, Hunter, everything was as it should be. You know, it was literally following the story in sequence. So, but I like the story. I think it's maybe a bit difficult when you play it for the first time to remember all the characters. There are lots of different enemies and the different planets and factions involved, you know. Miss Poison Ivy says, I've done all DLC in Destiny 1, but it's been around almost a year since I've done it. Made a Titan. I'll probably make a Hunter when I'm home from work. Louis says, I just got Destiny 1. And Miss Poison Ivy says, DLC story. I mean, yeah. In fact, I mean, I've not played Destiny from the word go. I joined the Destiny community last year, and lots of Destiny veterans told me that the Taken King DLC was pivotal, really, in terms of how the story was shaped up, and you know, basically what happened with the game overall. It will massively enhance playability and everything else. So I guess, you know, thumbs up really to Bungie. In just a moment, we have somebody who is attacking the channel, so we need to just very quickly ask our mods to deal with him. Just bear with us. My mods have taken action. I do apologize to everyone. We do need to report that to Twitch as well, because this is both offensive and racist. So just bear with us. I need to inform our mods to take action, so I'll be just a moment. Sorry about that. I apologize. I apologize because my mods had informed me about this. And you know, the trouble with live broadcasting on PlayStation 4 is when you have somebody doing something like that, basically posting unpleasant or offensive comments, then they can be banned or muted on Twitch. But what goes on the stream cannot be blanked out because it's recorded through the server. So that's very, very annoying. And you know, so just bear with me. I want to see what our friend said here. Miss Poison Ivy was saying DLC story, and Nightcat says Hunt Alive, and Nightcat says also, if anyone is on Xbox, you can private message me at GT and we can catch up. Absolutely. In fact, Night Kitty Cat, what I can ask you to do is post a message on my Twitter, right? Go to my Twitter and post a message saying, I'm looking for co-op members for Destiny 1 on Xbox. I had several people early in the year and last year as well who were doing the same, and obviously I advised them to post on Twitter, you know, their own private message, and I retweet that, and then they got their partners, other people retweeting. And I tell you, the other thing which is quite good is if you put in your message hashtag called support small streamers, right? So remember, hashtag support small streamers. In addition to that, hashtag Xbox and hashtag Destiny on Xbox. So 3 hashtags. Hashtag Destiny on Xbox, hashtag Xbox, hashtag support small streamers. And send that message to me, and I will obviously repost it, you know, on my Twitter, and then you will get some people coming in from elsewhere. And Matthias says that we need to get your raid ready, Daniel. And Matthias says, and I'm talking real raids, Crota is a glorified strike. And there we go, spam is no longer visible. Yeah, well, my moderators take action, but I can't delete that from the actual display on, you know, on the screen. Which means all the videos, once archived, will have messages visible because I'm not streaming on PC. On PC, that's different, you know. And Louis says this is so racist. That's right, but you know, I have moderators. There's a company that does this for me, and they simply take immediate action. And because they do take action, then those people really, you know, are dealt with by Twitch. Matthias says, yeah, that's correct, but at least it's not visible on the screen. No. You know, as the messages come in, then it will disappear. But what really worries me, generally, is that I cannot delete such comments from, you know, whatever comes in on the playback, because everything is archived, and then you can't delete this. It's visible on the screen, and it doesn't look like the action was taken, but at the moment we are still a bit limited with what we can do on consoles, but I think it will change in the future as well. The good thing about using moderators, and if anybody else who's also a streamer is watching, is that basically if you're using companies to do that for you, they will be reporting things to Twitch or to the you know, streaming service provider, and then the streaming service provider will take action. Just bear with me, I'm getting something else. I don't know what this is. Just getting some weird messages on my other display, which is, you know, keeping an eye out on whatever happens during my stream. Alright, so the time is to proceed.
Signal close. Can you see it?
I just want to say to my viewers, what happened now with those offensive messages is that this is a bot, you know? It's not a person. and they basically attack various websites. And then sometimes they have also malignant spyware attached to some of the links. Matthias says you should finish the sleeper quest today, so you only have to wait 1 day for the next step. Could you expand on that a bit? You mean the one which I'm doing right now, or any other one? No, I didn't go. That service was not destroyed. Come a bit slow now. I see.
Excellent. Whatever you did, your signal's coming through loud and clear now. Barracks, are you with us?
Yes, I am here. Kings will see Wolfpack as well. They will not be pleased.
Well, thanks, Matthias, for the tip. Matthias is telling us that you should finish the sleeper quest today, so you'll have to wait 1 day for the next step. And the sleeper quest has a step that requires you to wait for Arms Day, which is Wednesday. Finish it today and you can get it tomorrow, otherwise you have to wait until next Wednesday. In Destiny 1. I need to work out where it is, hang on. The sleeper quest. You know, I'm kind of not familiar. Where would it be? Where do I get it? Just if you could direct me to the section. Oh yeah, Matthias says Arms Day exists only in Destiny 1. It is not applicable to Destiny 2. Right. It's in my inventory. All right, let's have a look. It's in my inventory. I guess should be on the progress list, right? Don't know which one it is. Do you know? Matthias says on this character only has the colors parts. You have one that I did mission with. I guess it wasn't your Titan. To be honest with you, I don't really know. If you can see it somewhere, then just tell me where it is and I'll obviously find it. On the other hand, I can always go to Warlock or to Hunter and find it. I can do that just as a one-off, you know. I need to work it out because I don't think I've done it before. I don't think I've done any sleeper missions. Or maybe two of us would have done one or two of those before, but I don't really, I don't recall. I saw the Achilles part, which means you haven't unlocked the mission yet on this character. I see. So can I just be to do?
The wolves are approaching an old command center beyond the rocket yard. That must be where the kings are hidden.
Look at this. This is so great when you walk and you can see your shadow in there. Look at it. I love that. Is anyone playing Metro, for instance? Metro's come out last week, I think, and lots of people were giving me very, very positive feedback. And they're doing, you know, it's a bit like the combination of the original Metro and the open world as well, similar to Fallout. And I've seen some clips and really it looked amazing. Matthias says, I know on one of your Guardians you have a curious transceiver that needs to be decoded. Oh, I see. That will be on the Hunter. You know what? We'll have a look at that a bit later. Because what I'll do is I'll finish this mission, I'll have my dinner, and I'll come back for another broadcast, you know? Because today I'm having a somewhat shorter broadcasting than usual. It's to do with my schedule and the change and everything else. And what we'll do is we'll have a look at that when I come back from my dinner. I really will be curious to discover where that is. Always good to be having sleeper missions. It's like a bonus, you know, unlockable. I mean, a section that gets unlocked. It's always really good. You know, it's funny because I can hear my footsteps and I'm immediately switching on my Battle Royale brain, thinking someone's walking behind me. You see what happens when you play lots of video games.
At the Battle of Twilight Gap, the Devils, the Kings, and the House of Winter joined forces to take on the city. The House of Wolves could have turned the tide for the Fallen, but my queen interfered.
Indeed, your queen interfered, madam. We will keep this in mind, and we will defeat the enemy. No enemy soldier will be left standing. Fear God, honor the king. Matthias is saying that I still need to do that mission where we were taking screenshots. You know, I tried to do that, and I was examining the screenshots, and then I couldn't work out the number. So I don't really know what I've done wrong. I need to look into that. That is on my Hunter. And indeed I have to do that because that will be unlocking a mission. I've taken all the screenshots, you know? Yeah. That's a good idea. I'll Google it and I'll find out what I need to do with those screenshots. That will be very helpful indeed. We have another friend in here. Another hunter friend. Well, thank you very much for your tip and for your advice, and it's very good you reminded me because, you know, sometimes I forget. And that's not what should be happening. We want to have serious gaming in here with, you know, everything completed. Oh, look at them. Wow. Boom. Titan's Will light show. I just won it. Well, that's really cool. Where else do we need to go? Inside. Where is Skolas?
You are here to deny Skolas House Kings. They will not know, and they would not care. They will try to kill you. Kill them back.
And it's I shall kill them back.
I'm detecting lots of activity from the command center. I think you dropped the servitor jamming just in time.
If kings detected house wolves before attack, Skolas may have met his match.
Not bad. Well, that's actually offensive. Why did he die? That grenade should have really obliterated them there. I don't have anything to throw. He is very annoying. Not for much longer now, though. Yep. Matthias says he will be late on at work, but if you do look for it, don't forget about those screenshots we've taken. Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, thank you very much for the tip. I didn't really forget about them, but just couldn't really work out the method, and obviously googling it will be a good idea. Oh, he's still there. This is quite good, really. I like my Titan, I have to admit. These superpowers are superb. Boom! So. Hell's breaking loose. Yeah, what is going on? Hang on. That's not fair. What's happened to my super in there? That's good. Matthias says, just wait until you unlock hammers. I certainly look forward to that. Why is he not gone yet? You tell me. Oh, that was beautiful. Mission is complete.
The wolves are dead, and the kings, well, they're still a danger to the city. But at least they don't work for Skolas. I call that a win. Come on back, Guardian.
I certainly shall. I'm coming back, madam, and I will debrief you on the mission and my success. Fear God, honor the king. There we are. This mission is complete. Let's see what the scores are. Bonafide kills, precision 15, deaths nil. Mission summary. Continue. We are going to go back. You know, it's funny because I was just thinking about broadcasting. When you're doing a game like Destiny or any RPG or any, a game which has lots of story missions, one becomes very engaged with the story and very interactive with one's own community. But once you're doing PvP, there's no time for chit chat because you're absolutely focused on what's happening out there. You must be paying attention to every single detail. So it's quite interesting how the actual broadcasting works, because I've seen that also while doing Apex, the community wasn't as interactive. They just watched the fights and they didn't talk as much. I guess there wasn't much to be talked about because it was just about elimination, but still quite interesting. It's an interesting observation. So we are back to the reef. We need to talk to Petra. Off we go. Well, I just want to say again, as you've seen earlier on, we have Night Kit Kat. Night Kit Kat plays Destiny on Xbox, and Night Kit Kat is asking for any other Destiny 1 gamers on Xbox to join. So if you are one of those guys, then definitely private message Night Kit Kat and squad up. You know, do some missions together, and that's going to be really lots of good fun. And I asked also Night Kit Kat to post a message to my Twitter, so I can be reposting it and also drawing attention from my other community members. So if anyone is doing it on Xbox, then please join in and do let Night Kit Kat know about your teams, and perhaps if you would like to squad up as well.
We have to stop Skolas before this gets worse.
There we are.
Skolas has failed at every attempt to wrest control of the other houses. His forces grow thinner with each patch. We've dealt the wolves a serious blow. Varix has a little something for you to celebrate.
Thank you, madam. I shall speak to him immediately.
Back to the Starve.
So I'll go and speak to Varix, who of course is here.
Brought this up from Queen's Vault for you. So shiny. Enjoy.
You stopped scholars from taking House Devils, House Kings. Now wolves have returned to Venus. So we are getting this consumable, which is Royal Amethyst. So shards of rare glimmer lace gems from the Queen's crystal barrows. Okay, so that's wonderful.
Stopped Skolas from taking House Devils, House Kings. Now wolves have returned to Venus.
So it looks like we are being given another mission, and the mission is on Venus. This is House of Wolves mission. Track Scholars and his crew of wolves I come back from a dinner. So we are going to be discontinuing with the broadcast very shortly, and then we'll